Snow howled through the craggy mountain pass, dragging knives of wind that slashed through the stone like it sought to carve out the bones of the world. Night pressed in like a shroud. The cave mouth, half buried in snowdrift, seemed to moan with the pain of those trapped within. Vera huddled in the darkest corner, her slender violet arms wrapped around her tiny daughter. The child's skin, once the warm color of dusk, now seemed pallid under the flickering light of their last heat capsule. "Mama, it hurts," whispered the girl. Her voice was hoarse, chapped lips barely moving. "I know, Telly. Just a little longer. Someone will come. Someone kind." She didn't know if she was lying anymore. Their ship had crashed 3 days ago. The emergency beacon was weak. The last rations gone. Vera was a Zalari, once a proud explorer scientist of the Zenthri Union. Now she was nothing more than a mother with frostbitten fingers, holding a dying child in a frozen tomb. And then, a crunch of snow. Heavy, deliberate. Her eyes widened. A creature? A scavenger? Her muscles coiled in instinctive defense as she threw her own shivering body between her daughter and the cave entrance. A figure stood there, tall, cloaked in white furs, a glowing visor cutting through the storm. A human male, the most dangerous species in the galaxy and the most unpredictable. She bared her teeth weakly. "Leave us. We have nothing left to take." The man didn't speak. Instead, he knelt and slowly pulled down his hood. Steam rose from his breath. His skin was pale with a pinkish hue, his hair messy and iced at the tips, but his eyes, blue like melted glaciers, were steady and filled with something she hadn't seen in days. Compassion. "I'm not here to take anything," he said. "My name's Cole. I saw your beacon." He reached into his pack and pulled out a portable thermal blanket. Without hesitation, he wrapped it around Vera and her daughter. Telly whimpered, her eyes fluttering. "Mama warm." Vera didn't speak. She was choking on sobs, silent and sudden, like a dam bursting. Cole gently touched her shoulder. "Come on. I've got a cabin down the ridge. It's warm. There's food, water. You'll be safe." "Why?" she croaked. "Why would you help us?" He looked at her for a long moment. "Because I have a daughter too. Or had. She died last winter. I wasn't fast enough. I won't let another little girl freeze if I can help it." She stared, her heart cracking in the quiet of that confession. There were things pain could teach you. Things that transcended species. Cole carried Telly in his arms while Vera stumbled beside him, too weak to protest. He moved with practiced precision through the storm, his boots crunching through deep snow, never once faltering despite the growing blizzard. Hours passed. Eventually, golden light shimmered through the trees, low, artificial, and warm. A compact wooden shelter rose from the snowy landscape, half buried but alive with energy. Inside, it was like a dream. Crackling fire. Synth wood walls. The scent of hot broth filled the air as Cole laid Telly down on a padded cot near the hearth. He wrapped her in heated blankets, scanning her with a medkit. Hypothermia. But not irreversible. He shot her with a warm fluid dose and turned to Vera. "You need treatment too." She didn't stop him. By dawn, the color had returned to Telly's cheeks. The girl stirred under the blankets, blinking as she felt warmth for the first time in days. "Is this heaven?" she whispered. Cole smiled. "Close enough, kiddo." Over the next days, Vera watched him. He was quiet, methodical, and solitary. The cabin had been built years ago. Off-grid. No satellites. Just wood, heat, solar batteries, and silence. He told her he used to be a colonist mechanic until his settlement was wiped out by a reactor breach. He had escaped with his daughter. She died 3 winters later. Now he lived alone, far from the galaxy, far from war, far from loss, until Vera and Telly crashed into a silence. He cooked. He taught Telly how to use old Earth tools, carved little toys from wood, and taught her the names of animals she'd never seen. One night, as Vera sat beside the fire, she looked at him. "You're a good man, Cole." He stared into the flames. "I wasn't always. Before my daughter, I didn't care about anyone." What changed? He met her eyes. Loving someone changes everything, even your own species. Vera felt her cheeks flush, an odd reaction, one she hadn't known she could still feel. The flicker of warmth was unfamiliar but not unwelcome. Spring came late in the highlands. With each passing week, the snow melted, revealing the dark soil and growing moss underneath. Telly ran through the trees now, laughing as she chased Cole's makeshift drones. Vera helped him repair an old antenna. Her skills as an engineer were rusty, but together they rerouted power and finally sent a clear signal back into the stars. "You could leave now," Cole said as the dish beeped. She looked at him.
"Yes.
"We could. Will you?" Vera didn't answer right away. Later that night, she found him sitting on the porch, sipping hot tea. Stars blinked above like cold fireflies. "You saved our lives," she said. "You've given me reason to live again." Silence stretched between them, comfortable, like a worn blanket. Then Vera asked softly, "Would it be strange if I didn't want to leave?"
Cole turned, surprised.
"Not strange, just unexpected. We have no home out there. The galaxy, it turned its back on us when our mission failed. But here," Telly laughs again, "I sleep without fear. You're the only one who looked at me not like a refugee, not like an alien, but like a woman." He swallowed. "You are a woman, a mother, and the bravest one I've ever met." She stepped closer. "Then let me stay. Let me help you build something again." He stood, and slowly, gently, he opened his arms.
She walked into them.
3 years later, the cabin was no longer just a cabin. It had expanded, solar towers hummed. Irrigation channels ran through a garden bursting with alien and Earth-native crops. A new shelter was built beside the old one, larger, warmer, family-sized. Vera stood at the edge of the garden, her hand on her belly. Another life stirred inside. Telly, now tall and strong, was out near the stream, trying to teach a curious alien rabbit to roll over. Cole emerged from the house, grease on his hands and a smile on his face. "You fixed the stabilizer?" she asked.
"Yeah.
"Gonna try launching the glider tomorrow. Telly wants to see the valley from above." She nodded, stepping into his arms. "We should name the new one soon." Cole smiled. "Got any ideas?" She looked up at him, eyes glowing. "What about hope?" He kissed her forehead. "Perfect." And so, in a quiet pocket of an unforgiving world, a family built itself from the broken shards of tragedy. Not by blood or by mandate, but by kindness freely given, by a human heart big enough to shelter not just one, but 2 alien souls who had nearly frozen in the dark. And together, they lit a fire that would never go out.